So the title of this video is basically a lie. It will be mostly frogging, guys. It is the last week of the year 2025 and I've been decluttering my working room. It's kind of a classic, right? To end the year with some tidying up. At least for me it is. It's a time of the year that calls for that. And while clearing out, I have selected some projects that I don't want to carry with me in 2026, at least not in the form that they have now. So this one you've probably seen before if you've been here for a while. This is called Etamine, and it was one of the projects of my year-long knitting project of 2025, where I was knitting. I aimed at knitting all of the patterns contained in issue 9 of the Making Stories magazine. At some point the project was sort of aborted. I might pick it up again, I don't know. But yeah, this was one of the projects, and I have a whole video on this one, so look it up, the link will be below. I consider it only a partial success because the sweater fits very well, and the yoke in particular fits very well, but I don't like the way the color work turned out. So I will put in a close-up of the details. It's completely my fault, so it's not there's no mistakes in the pattern or anything. I just think that for someone like me with not much colorwork experience, managing the long floats and combining them with the increases, these lines that you probably see even at this far, there are some lines that are made by increases and decreases to create the well, the shape of the yoke itself and also the shape of these leaves or petals, and combined with the floats that you have to carry, I think my tension was not ideal, so I got some little holes here and there. I probably also don't particularly like the color blocks. It's a bit too in your face for my taste, but like I said, I really like the fit. I like the yarn, I like the colors, not in this bold combination, but I like the colors, so I decided to attempt surgery on this one, and that will mean cutting the sweater here right under the collarwork, so keeping the bottom as it is, or maybe shortening the bottom like 4 or 5 centimeters because it's a bit long. I like my sweaters quite cropped, so if I do surgery, I mean, it's my opportunity to also adjust the length and maybe reuse part of this beigey pink on the yoke itself. We will come to that. So it will be, I will insert a needle here and then cut one round, the stitches along one round. I will cut and unravel, and I will unravel the yoke all the way up to the short rows. There are short rows at the back that you can see here before the petals start, so I will cut to that point and keep the very first bit of neck and short rows, and then start a new colorwork yoke that I will design myself. I'm not sure yet what it will be like. I think it will be very, very textural. Yes, so a combination of color and texture. That is a challenge because the increases are already decided for me, which is a good thing because calculating the increases for a yoke is difficult. But yeah, everything will have to, like the pieces of a puzzle, be combined and work out to get to this number of stitches, to this number of stitches. That will stay the same, obviously. So when I've knitted down from here my new yoke, I will have to graft the bottom part and the sleeves as well. The sleeves will be cut out as well. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure when this will happen, probably later in the spring, because I have so many other projects at the moment and because I have to figure out the stitches that I want to use and the combination of colors and everything. So that will be frogged and finished, which is, I mean, I'm not lying. I wasn't lying in the title. What did I say? No, it's actually both frogging and finishing. And something that will really be frogged is a Marvej sweater by Ruthemann design. It's the Marvej sweater light, and it's in this bag. This is the bag that contained the yarn that I bought. So now everything is in here, and it's been on the floor in a corner of my workroom for like 2 years, and I don't want to see that there in 2026. I will show you where I got to. It is in reality almost finished, so it's a real pity that I never got around to fully finishing it. One of the sleeves is almost complete, and it misses the other one. You might recognize it because when it came out, this was all over Instagram, and I think it trended on Ravelry, and it is in reality a very, very nice pattern, very, very new when it came out, I think. And so I saw it, and it was almost my husband's birthday, and I said, you know what, do you like it? Why don't I knit one for you? I never knit anything for anyone except me, myself, and I. So that seemed, like a nice opportunity to knit something for him. This is the yarn that I bought at my local yarn shop. I don't think it's a blown yarn, but it looks like it. It's one of those very lofty yarns, and it's alpaca cotton and wool in 45 and 8% wool. And it's very nice. It's very soft. It's really, really next to skin soft and very nice to work with. So what happened is that I had used this yarn before, but only to make a cowl, and believe it or not, I made a cat jumper, a cat sweater for one of those hairless cats. So two very small objects, but I had blocked them and I had measured the gauge, and so I didn't swatch for this one thinking, it will be just the same. I made two things in this yarn. Let's just go for it. And obviously this has been blocked as well because I realized at this point that it was turning out too big. But I said, you know what? I'm pretty sure the gauge is that, so let's block it. It will shrink. And of course it didn't. It didn't shrink. So my husband thought it was too big for him. He likes, I suppose we're the same. We kind of like not skinny things, but comfy, but not oversized usually. So yes, I made him try it on again, thinking maybe he changed his mind, who knows. But he confirmed that he doesn't like it this oversized, and he also said, after 2 years, he was like, I'm not sure about the pattern anymore. So if you re-knit this for me, please knit something else. So I will probably knit something else at this point. I only have one ball of the green, but this can be used for anything, like for a hat or for anything else. I quite like this green. It's yes, it's the same. What I see on the screen is pretty much the same. Maybe a bit more dull in real life, but yeah, pretty much the same. So this will probably become something else for him because I have so much of the yarn that if I knit something for me, it will be it would be too much. I don't want to have like 3 balls left of this, because then I will have no use for it. So this will be frogged. In it goes in the bag. And the next 2 things that I need to frog or finish are socks. And they are again 2 pairs of socks that were in my 2025 project. So the patterns are in issue 9 of Making Stories. They're also available as individual downloads on Ravelry now. One is this ankle sock. It's called Firfir. But anyway, I don't know if I pronounce it well, but the details will be, as always, below. This was a travel project. I knitted the 2 socks in Japan. We were in Japan in the spring, and this looked like the perfect travel project. And in a way it was, and in a way it wasn't, because the socks are knitted toe up, but they have a heel flap and gusset. And for my size, the calculations were, I mean, I don't want to say they were wrong, because for other people they might still fit, but they didn't fit the shape of my foot, honestly. So this gusset was so massive that it would have wrapped around my foot like a half round more, like 1.5. So I had to drastically reduce the number of stitches. So it was supposed to be an easy and relaxing knit, and I ended up sitting on the floor in a Japanese traditional house making calculations to see how to adjust the numbers of the gusset, having never in my life knitted a gusset in toe-up socks. So that moment was quite stressful, also because I didn't have any other projects on the needles at the time, you know, with me. My needles also broke while knitting this. So it was a bit of a tragic project, to be honest. Now, with the modifications I made, the sock itself fits quite well. And it's a yarn that I like, not only the color, but it's a blend of cotton and wool. So kind of probably a bit less warm than your traditional sock yarn. And so I'm curious to wear them, but I don't think, I mean, I had all the rest of the spring and summer and the early autumn, the season that would be perfect for wearing these, and I never once wore them. And that's probably because it's an ankle sock, and I don't usually wear ankle socks anyway. And also, I'm not sure I like the ruffle. I mean, it's very cute, isn't it? It also has this picot edge that is, it's all really cute. The whole thing is really cute. It's just not me. So I thought I could give them to somebody else, but, you know, I like the yarn. It seems like a waste, from my very egoistic perspective, to have a sock that I fitted to my foot in reality, because I had to fit it to redo all the calculations, and yeah, I just want to wear the socks, but not as they are. So what I'm thinking is unraveling the whole thing, yeah, it won't be easy to find the place, but here I can see the yarn that I've wove in. So going back to the to where the heel ends, like here, and then like here. Yes, going back here and reuse this yarn, which is in reality a lot of yarn, because the ruffle takes a lot of yarn, and I have also a little leftover ball, and redoing the leg, maybe a ribbed leg, or yeah, I'll figure something out, maybe even a plain leg, stockinette leg. Yes, we will see, but that's the plan. So another frog and finished project. Let me know what you think. Are they too cute to frog? I don't know. I don't know. I will put in a photo of how they fit. Also, this really cute picot edge is a bit open. I don't think, or is it? I don't think it is when I put it on my leg. I will put a photo in of how it fits. It seems massively large, but I have chubby legs, so maybe. I don't know, frog or finish or both in this case. And the last pair of socks, these are called Flore, and they are really beautiful. And I was very happy to start on them, you know, very enthusiastic, and I've almost got one finished. But the truth is that I was like forcing myself to finish this, and it's a very elaborate pattern that I'm knitting on 2mm needles, and I think that was one of the mistakes, because it's really, my hands are really not liking it, not at all. I'm also not getting the pattern, I mean, it's not turning out, I think I've shown this before at some point, but if you see on this side, the white you see underneath is my hand, these are eyelets. So on this left side, I get very clear eyelets, but not on the right side. They are there, but they're much smaller and much less visible. And this is really putting me off. But mostly it's the fact that it's just so fiddly. I really lost motivation on this one. And yeah, the fabric feels stiff. The yarn was also not a yarn that I like. If you look at it, it's a beautiful green yarn with a lot of nuances in it. So I was so happy to start working with this. But in reality, it's like very stiff and plasticky, if I can say that. It's the usual composition, so it does have some polyamide or something in it. But I mean, every sock yarn, not every, but most sock yarns have it, and it's okay, and it's really okay. But this one is really not pleasant to work with. Also, another reason to frog is that they've been around too long, and I realized that all this time I've been hoping to start another project with this yarn. And that's because I have another yarn that would go perfectly with this one. Let me get it. So the other yarn I'm talking about is this. It's a different brand, but it looks like almost the same base. It's these sock yarns that look like they are like, yeah, they're plied in this way that, I don't know, they look like a little cord. And I think they would go perfectly together for like contrasting toes and heels, and maybe other details, because this one contains speckles of the same green as this one. So all the time while knitting this green sock, I have been thinking of this yarn and thinking, I hope I have enough to, you know, enough left over to combine the two. At the same time, I wanted to knit the leg a little bit longer. That's one of the things I want to do this year, to try and knit my socks a little bit longer. Not only because I will limit the leftovers in this way, but because I like longer socks. And so I wasn't sure, and I was all the time thinking of that. And so at some point I said, you know what, there's no point. There's no point in knitting something that gives me no joy. And especially if I have another idea that at the moment gives me, you know, a lot more enthusiasm. So The plan is to combine the two and make 2 pairs of matching socks that will have the heel and the toes in the opposite color, in the contrasting color, and maybe some slipped stitches as well. I'm not sure if I will have to try and figure out if I have enough yarn for that, because of course if you slip the stitches you still have to carry the yarn, so you will use a lot more yarn. Maybe I would just do it on the leg because the rest is in my shoes anyway. We will see, but that's the plan for now. And 2026 is going to be a year of socks, so that is more likely to happen. And even if the yarn is not so pleasant on the hands, if it's like a quicker thing to knit, not with all of this lace, then I think I can pull it off. So 2 frog and then finished projects and 2 projects that will be completely frogged, and they will become something else at some point. If you're interested in knowing what I will do with them, please subscribe to the channel. I'm never very good at promoting what I do here, but yeah, if you subscribe and if you comment and like, you will make me very happy, and I will have a great start in 2026. I wish the same to you all. Goodbye.